जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारि राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर हरे राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर हरे जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय गौर नंदे ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मंत परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य श्रीमद् श्री भक्त वेदांत संत प्रपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मंत परिव्राज काचर अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य श्रीमद् श्री भक्त सिद्धांत सरल ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रपाद की जय आनंद गौड़ वैष्णव की जय नमाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गणाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगामय यमुनामय की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय बताए गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhupada ki jai. ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण विष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सारस्वत गौरवाण प्रचारण विशेष पाश्चात्य. Thank you all for joining. We're reading from Bhagavad Gita. Let me share the screen. Chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute, verse number 10 and 11. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namaha.
Mute your line so that. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Asta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhakti Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute, verse number 10 and 11. We will cover 10 and 11 today. Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. What about here? Audio is less. Let me see. Hold on. How about now? Better. Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam vajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Word to word. Tesham, unto them, satata yuktanam, always engaged, bhajatam, in rendering devotion service, priti purvakam, in loving ecstasy, dadami, I give, buddhi yogam, real intelligence, tam, that, ena vayuch, mam, unto me, upayanti, come, they. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Let me repeat. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Verse number 11. Tesham evanukampartham aham agnanajam tamah नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. What Tesham, for them, Eva, certainly, Anukampartham, to show special mercy, Aham, I, Agnanajam, due to ignorance, Tamaha, darkness, Nasayami, dispel, Atma Bhava, within their hearts, Sta, situated, Gnana, of knowledge, Deepena, with the lamp, Baswata, glowing, translation by Sri Prabhupada. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Please repeat. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. We'll try to understand these verses. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaः. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Vangayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Devatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhayeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोविष्टम स्थापितम येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. So this is an important section which we are discussing, continuation from last week. So this is a chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute, where it has multiple sections. 1 to 7 was Lord Krishna is the source of everything. That is section 1. We discussed a few weeks ago. And then the section 2, today's section falling under that category, is the ChatuSloki Bhagavad Gita. 4 key verses which summarizes, which encapsulates everything through the whole Bhagavad Gita in these 4 verses 8, 9, 10, and 11. We covered 2 verses last week, so we are covering 10 and 11 today. And then, after hearing these ChatuSloki Bhagavad Gita, 4 verses, then Arjuna's understanding has changed, and then is confirming Lord Krishna's supreme position. Arjuna is confirming Lord Krishna's supreme. That is the next section of 12 to 16. And then Arjuna's further questions has been asked by Arjuna. Then the opulences of the absolute from all the way 19 to 42. So in this way, we can see the various sections in this chapter. Now we'll go to the elaborate understanding of these particular verses. Yeah, 12 to 15 is Arjuna's glorification of Supreme Lord's position. 16 to 18 is Arjuna's questions. 19 to 42 is Lord Krishna's opinion. So let's understand these today's 2 verses. Last week we discussed that 2 verses. Aham sarvasya prabho Sri Bhagavan vacha. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Idi matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna is mentioning that many things. These verses has many different ways to understand, many angles of vision. Aham sarvasya prabho. That means all the material and spiritual, whatever we see in this material world and spiritual world, he is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Everything pervaded, whatever you see, is because of me. It is coming from me. That is Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Then further, that is the Sambandha Gnan. Also, it means everything coming from him, material and spiritual world. I am the source. That also means I am the source of all the rasas, Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Madhurya rasa. These are the 5 primary rasas. Then there are 7 secondary rasas. Shanta means neutrality, Dasya means master servant and parent child, Vatsalya rasa, and Madhurya rasa, conjugal loving relationship, and Sakya rasa is fraternity or the friendship. So in these 5 principal rasas, and then 7 secondary rasas, which is Hasya, Bivasa, Bhayanaka, all those rasas, chivalrous, all those coming under secondary rasas. There is a total 12 rasas broadly categorized. So those are also coming from Krishna. And Krishna is also mentioned. Our relationship, Sambandha Gnan, Lord Krishna, and our eternal relationship. The living entity's position, Sarva Yonish Konte Sambhavanti Murti Tasham Aham Bija Pradapita. Tasham Mahat Brahma Yoni Aham Bija Pradapita. I am the seed giving father. Lord Krishna is mentioning in this verse how he is the source of everything. So Acharya's quotes the various Upanishads, various Puranas from Gopala Tapani Upanishad. Yo Brahmana Vidadati Purvam Yo Vai Vedat Chagapayati Sma Krishna. Krishna alone previously created Lord Brahma, making Lord Brahma sing the Vedas. And then Gopala Tapani Upanishad Ata Purusho Vai Narayano Akamayat Praja Sajayate. Then the Purusha Narayana desired to create offspring. Then Narayana Brahma Jayate, Narayana Prajapatye Prajayate, Narayana Indro Jayate, Narayana Vasavo Jayante, Narayana Ekadasa Rudra Jayante, Narayana Dvadas Aditya. This is from Lord Narayana. Brahma was born, Lord Shiva was born, Indra was born, 8 Vasus were born, 11 Rudras were born, 12 Adityas were born. So, in this way, we can understand that before the creation, only Lord Narayana existed. Eko Narayana Asit. Na Brahma, na Ishana, na Agni, na Samo, na Do, Apativa, na Nakshatra, na Surya. Ekakina Ramante Tasya. Dhyanastustasya Stomam Uchate. So only Lord Narayana existed before the creation. No one existed. So that's why Lord Narayana is the source. And then Gopal Upanishad, Upanishad is mentioned, Lord Krishna is the source of Lord Narayana. In this verse, Narayana means Krishna because of his statements in the later text, such as Brahmanyo Devaki Putro, that is son of Devaki, that is Lord Krishna. So in this way, so Upanishad is describing how everything is coming from Lord Krishna. Creation, maintenance, destruction of this material universe, material world. And he is the source of all the rasas. And also the sambandha gnam, the relationship between the living entity, the jiva, the spirit souls, all the living entities, not only human being, but all living entities, and the Supreme Lord. There is a relationship. So that is called sambandha gnam. So that's what is being expressed here. Am sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. That matta means knowing that relationship between the jiva and Supreme Lord, Paramatma. We are Anu, is Vibhu. We are Atma, is Paramatma. We are Brahman, is Parabrahman. In this way, there is a clear distinction. Nitya, we are eternal, but he is eternal. We are all eternal, multiple of them. Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Yo Vidadati Kaman. He is supplying all the necessities as a Supreme Lord, as a God. He is supplying all the necessities, what is required for us. So that's why he is the Supreme Lord. So that is what is next. The first two lines. Am sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam bodha abhava samanvita. So sambandha gnana has been established, and now avideya and prayojana, which is practice. After knowing that relationship, once you have a loving relationship with someone, what you will do? You will engage in service in this world, between friends, between family members, between parents, between communities. Always there is a service. Everywhere, community and politics, everywhere there is a service. At home, so at temple, everywhere there is service. So same way in this verse also, Lord Krishna, one who understands this, someone the gnan, the relationship between the Supreme Lord and the living entity, then you will act. Matta sarvam pravriti mattva bhajante mam iti matva. After understanding, after knowing this confidential truth, iti matva bhajante mam. You will engage in loving devotion service to me. That is the avideya. That is the practice. After knowing the transcendental knowledge, one must practice it. That's avideya. And what avideya it is, and the next verse is explaining. First verse is just was summarizing everything. The four verses in conclusion, in summary, is establishing sambandha, avideya, and prayojan. Then he is going to elaborate further on it. Sambandha is relationship, avideya is practice, and the result of that loving relationship, what will happen? One who attains Krishna prema. So that is the result, prayojan. So, iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Then he will attain the intelligence, the Krishna prema, the Krishna consciousness, that buddhi yoga is also termed as Krishna consciousness, attain Krishna prema. In this way, the first verse is mainly describing the sambandha, avideya, prayojana. All the rasas are coming from him. He is the source of all the demigods, is the source of everything, material and spiritual worlds. In this way, he is establishing himself. So, through this first verse. Now, so the second verse, one who after then further Krishna is elaborating what is that avideya, that practice. One who understands this knowledge, what they will do. Mat-Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Kathayantascha Mam Nischam, Tushyanti Ramanti. Very important verse. Mat-Chitta, Mat means my Chitta, my consciousness, my mind, my intelligence, my buddhi. is invested. This is one who understands this knowledge about the transcendental position of the living entity and the Supreme Lord. Then what you will do? Mat-Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana. It is a very important word is used. Mat-Gatha-Prana. Gata-Prana. It is also called Guru Gata-Prana. That means living like a fish. Fish living without water. Can it exist? No, it cannot exist much longer time. So that Guru Gata Pran. So like same way, Mad Gata Pran. Lord Krishna is mentioning this verse, so that says Mad Gata Pran. That means as the fish cannot live without water, my devotees cannot live without me. Cannot live without engaging in loving devotion service with me. So that's why Krishna is using this specific word, mat chitta, their consciousness, their thoughts, their intelligence, their activities, their body, their senses, everything is utilized in service of me. Just like the fish in the water, fish outside the water, they can't live. My devotees also cannot live. What is the proof? What is the proof? Lord Krishna himself is mentioning when Durvas Muni was attacked by by Sudarshan Chakra, because Durvas Muni went to disturb the great devotee Ambarish Maharaj, the great devotee of the Lord. He was a great king, but he was following under the direction of the Brahmanas and sages. All the Shastra is following Sadhu, Guru. He was very, very humble devotee. So, but Durvas Muni was somehow or the other. He wanted to show his power. Even though he was following Ekadasi, next day morning, Dwadasi Parana time coming. But before that, Durvas Muni comes and says, okay, I'm coming, I'll just take bath and come and we'll fast the break. I will honor Prasad. Okay, so there is always Ambarish Maharaj is very favorable to devotees. So then he said, yeah, I will wait. Then time is approaching, Dwadasi, there is a Parana time. Whenever we do Ekadasi, next day there is a Parana time. Break time exactly, we have to follow that. Parna time, we have to break within that time. Otherwise, the result will not be there. So, time is approaching and he is not coming. Then he asked all the Brahmanas what to do. And I said, okay, you can take water. That is not an offense. And so, it is breaking. At the same time, it is not breaking the inviting guest and honoring without him. That rule is not broken by this. Then he took it by the orders. So this is a very important point. Mat-Gatha-Prana. That means following, and there are many examples I'm going to give, then you can understand this point. Very important point actually. Following the instructions, how important it is. Mat-Gatha-Prana. So here Ambarish Maharaj, he can take his decision because he knows exactly Sadhu Shastra Guru in and out of Shastra. He knows the conclusions of Siddhanta, everything he knows. But he didn't take his own decision. He has been asked and guided by the Brahmanas, and then he taken based on their instruction, he just simply followed, and then he took water and he broke it. And then Durvas Muni, knowing he is Trikalagna, he could see what has been done. By the time he is walking and then coming, he knew what has been done. Immediately he became so much angry, and then he created some demon, took the hair from his head and threw it into the ground, and then it created a demon and tried to attack. And Amrish Maharaj was not afraid at all because he is completely situated on a spiritual platform. He is not on the bodily platform. He is completely at the pure devotional stage. So that's why he was not afraid. He was completely attached to Krishna. He was not afraid at the least. He was not shaken. He is not even praying. He is not even praying for his life. He can understand what position he is in. So it's that much fearless he became. So then Durvas Muni released, and then automatically Lord is protecting him by releasing Sudarshan Chakra. He didn't pray for his own health, his own safety. Then Sudarshan Chakra started attacking Durvas Muni. It killed that demon, and then it ran after Durvas Muni. Durvas Muni had to run for his life. Then he went to Lord Brahma, then Lord Shiva. Nobody could protect. Who can protect? Who can stop Sudarshan Chakra? No one can. Then it went to Vaikuntha finally. Then Durvas Muni is such a yogi. He could go to all these planets. You can imagine such a great yogi. But he's not a pure devotee. That's the difference. Ambarish Maharaj is a pure devotee. So Mat-Gatha-Prana is completely attached. He's always thinking, he's using his mind, intelligence, senses, body, everything. All the Navaveda Bhakti, 9 limbs of devotion service he's practicing. Even though he was a great king, so much opulence is there, but he's completely devoted to Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu and his devotees. That's why it's Mat-Gatha-Prana, Guru-Gatha-Prana. So then Sudarshan Chakra went, and then Durvas Muni was praying to Lord Vishnu, please relieve me from this great heat running behind me. So please save me. You can only save. You are the protector of the devotees. Please save me. Then Lord said a beautiful verse, few verses. He said, श्री भगवान उवाच अहम भक्त पराधीनो अस्वतंत्र ही द्विजः साधु ग्रस्त हृदयो भक्तैर भक्त जनप्रियः. My devotees are my heart and soul. I know nothing but my devotees, and my devotees also, they don't know anything else other than me. So I am always in their heart, they are in my heart. I am not there. No one is dear to me. Not even Lord, my consort, Lakshmi, not even my Lord Balaram. None of them are dear to me than my pure devotees. This is Lord Vishnu is mentioning in the 9.4, the verse, one minute, exact verse, I'll quote. Yeah, 9.463. श्री भगवान वाच अहम भक्त पराधीनो ई अस्वतंत्र इव द्विजा साधुवीर ग्रस्त हृदयो भक्तैर भक्त जनप्रिय. Very, very important verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana that I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent. Lord Krishna is saying, even though he is independent Swara, first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam begins with Te Brahma Daya Adikam Hyanti Swara and Abhigna. He is fully cognizant of the whole world, what's going on in past, present, future, and he is fully independent. But here Krishna is saying, no, I am not independent. I am controlled by my devotees. I am not at all independent because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the core of their hearts. What to speak of my devotees? Even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. You can understand this position. That's why this second verse is very important. How these devotees who are completely understanding about Lord's position and act in that relationship 24/7. Mat-Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana. So that's what Guru-Gatha-Prana or Mat-Gatha-Prana means. Mat-Gatha-Prana means completely dedicated their life. Dedicated. That's why here Krishna is mentioning, Lord Vishnu is mentioning this Durvas Muni. Durvas Muni thought Lord Vishnu will protect me, but Lord Vishnu is saying, no, I cannot protect you. You have to go to my devotees because I am getting glorified. I am getting all this everything because of my devotees. He is mentioning in few different places in Srimad Bhagavatam that I myself is being glorified because I am myself being purified by my devotees dust, pure devotees dust. So, so that he can understand how much Lord is emphasizing in of his pure devotees, how much he is devoted and attached to his pure devotee, how much is controlled by his pure devotees. And they are also in that way. That's why they are Mat-Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana, Guru-Gatha-Prana. Now, the following instructions, look at the examples of Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj, why did Narsingadev appear? Did Prahlad Maharaj offer prayers? Who offered prayers first? When Lord Narsingadev appeared, why did Lord Narsingadev appeared? Prahlada Ladadayine. Prahlada Ladadayine. Namaste Narsimhaya. Prahlada Ladadayine. To give happiness to his devotees. Lord Narsingadev appeared to actually give pleasure to Prahlad Maharaj. But Prahlad Maharaj, what did he think? What was his thought when Lord appeared? He thought, I am not qualified. Who am I? These demigods. He didn't even go front. He thought, my father was such a demon. He was creating great havoc, and Lord has to appear to kill him. Then, as a son, I'm in a great, terrible position. I'm a demon son. I don't have a quality. I'm not a devotee. But Lord is appearing for him because he is such a great devotee. But he is thinking that I'm not qualified at all. But he's so much attached to the Lord. Mat-Gatha-Prana, Guru-Gatha-Prana. How much Guru-Gatha-Prana we'll see from Prahlad Maharaj also. So Prahlad Maharaj was then he said, Lord Brahma first he told. They all offered prayers. Lord Brahma offered separate prayers. Lord Shiva offered separate prayers. All the demigods offered separate prayers. So many prayers are there when Lord Narsingadev appeared. Prahlad Maharaj didn't offer. because he thought I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. And we will sing that song, then we know what the position of these great personalities is, what we should have. Then we can understand. So then Lord Brahma instructed, Brahmadaya Suragana Ata Manaya Ata Siddha Sattva Ekatana Gataya Na Araditum Purugunair Adunapi Vipru Kim Tostum Arhate Ugrajate. Lord Brahma is saying, uh, instructed him, you go front and appease. They could, none of them could appease Lord Narasimha. They were so much angry after killing Hiranyakashipu. Lord, all these demigods offered prayers, but none of them could satisfy, none of them could bring down the anger. They all couldn't know. They only know that Lord appeared for Prahlad Maharaj. So that's then Lord Brahma instructed, oh Prahlad, please go front and appease Lord Narasimha. By following that way, Prahlad Maharaj immediately said this verse. So he's putting his position. What is his position? He's telling, I am the son of the Ugra Jate, born in the demoniac family. What qualities do I have? I'm not a great devotee. I'm not a demigod. So what position I have to offer prayers? I have nothing. I have nothing to offer. So Brahmadaya Suragana Manaya Ata Siddha, all these great devotees, Brahma, Shiva, great sages, all of them are assembled here. Sattva Ekatana Kataya. And they're all great devotees. Na Araditum, I don't have any qualities to worship you. Puru Gunair Adunapi Pipuru. Kim Tostum, how can I satisfy you? I am born as a demoniac. There is no way I can satisfy you. But since Lord Brahma has instructed me, this is what Guru Gata Pran means. Following the following the instructions of authority, Acharya. So Lord Brahma is also Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya ISKCON. We are following the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Lord Brahma received knowledge in the heart from the Lord Krishna's flute. So we are in that Sampradaya. Narada Muni is son. So Prahlad Maharaj, spiritual master, is Narada Muni. He is Guru Gata Pran. So he was completely attached to his spiritual master. We'll see further. So when then by following the Lord Brahma's instruction, Prahlad Maharaj thought, okay, now because I'm being instructed by authority, now I have to follow. So by following him, then he went further, and then he tried to appease Lord Narasimha. Appease Lord Narasimha. And beautiful prayers are there. Then after that, he offered prayers because he been instructed to go. So following the authority. So that's what Guru Gata Pran means. Following the instructions of Guru. When Lord Narasimha, after that, he was satisfied, he became peaceful. Then he tried to offer. Now he asked me benedictions. Then Lord Maharaj said, no, I'm not going to do business with you. Then that means I am not a devotee. I don't want to do any business with you. Rather, he's asking, ask me liberation, or ask me, I can take you back to God, all this. And he said, no, I've been given great blessings and great knowledge and so many things my spiritual master Narada Muni has given in the womb of my mother. Then how can I go without fulfilling my indebtedness? At least I should serve him. I should follow his instruction. I should serve him first before I do anything, before I take any benefits from you, before I take any benedictions. Let me serve my spiritual master. So he was very much. I'm so much, so much in distress because of seeing the living entity's condition. They are so much suffering. Let me serve my spiritual master and help all these living entities who are suffering in this material world. So that's what Prahlad Maharaj did. So this is what Guru Gata Pran, Mat-Gatha-Prana means. Following the instructions of even Lord is asking, but he is not ready to accept. He is actually following the order of his Guru. He wants to serve his Guru. So this is what Guru Gata Pran, Mat Gata Pran means. He cannot live without Guru. He cannot live without following his instructions. That much attached. These devotees, Mat Gata Prana means they are attached to following Lord Krishna's instructions. That means his previous Acharya's instructions. So that is the important point. Then the next steps will come. If you don't have Guru Gata Pran, Mat Gata Pran, there is no way you are not going to do Matchatta, Mat Gata Prana. Then what they will do? Bodhayanta Parasparam, Katayanta Chamam Nicham Tushyanturam. Three things. First one is Matchata Madgata Prana Bodhayanta. That means discussing about Krishna. This is Krishna Katha, discussing Krishna Katha. Yeah, that is Sravanam and Kirtanam, glorification. They are describing about Lord Krishna's glories, holy name, glories of the holy name, glories of his form, beautiful form, glories of his pastimes, qualities. So this is what Bodhayanta means. Then further Kathayanta Chama, they want to hear, mm, not only glorify Kirtanam and Sravanam. So then the relishing, after hearing and glorifying, what they will do, they are remembering, smarana, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are great happiness, relishing great ecstatic bliss in the heart by remembering the holy name, remembering the pastimes, remembering the qualities, remembering the beauty of the Lord. So all these things. So that's why when that will happen, when is Mat-Gatha-Prana or Guru-Gatha-Prana. So this is what we can learn. What this Guru-Gatha-Prana or Mat-Gatha-Prana is. Again, if we understand the same aspect, then Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu's dealings, we can understand this. What is this Mat-Gatha-Prana, Guru-Gatha-Prana means. And before that, let me sing this song. Then we can understand the position. What is the quality these devotees had? Uh, what position they are taking? There are two songs we'll quickly sing. Then we can understand. गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दासे तृणपे गतिहीना सकाले सहाने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहहीना गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दासे तृणपेकातिहीना सकाले सम्मान कुरीते साकाति देहो नाता जाता जाता तबे तो गाइबो हरिनाम सुखे अपराधा है बेहाता कबे हे न कृपा लबिय ए जाना कृतार्थ হইবে নাথা শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীনা আমি অতি দীনা করো মরে আত্মসাথা যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায়া তোমারা করুণা সারা করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दास तृणपे कातिहीना. Quickly I'll read translation. We're discussing about the 10th chapter, 10th verse specifically, Mat-Gatha-Prana. Understanding this one word, I can speak, I think, few hours on this point. Mat-Gatha-Prana, Guru-Gatha-Prana. What does it mean? Especially in Srila Bhakti Charuswami Maharaj, I think one of the pranam mantra, second pranam mantra has this Guru Gata Prana. How much is attached to Guru? How much attached, not physical, but also more than physical, following the instructions of Guru, following the instructions of authority. So much, very deeply attached. They can't live without it, like a fish without water. So that's why we are singing this song so that we can understand. And then we are quoting Ambarish Maharaj, then we are discussing now Prahlad Maharaj's position. And this is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, this is the mood of Narottam Das Thakur. He is saying in translation, Gurudev, oh spiritual master, give to this servant just one drop of mercy. I am lower than a blade of grass. Give me all help. Give me strength. Let, let me be as you are, without desires or aspirations. I offer you all respects, for thus I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. When will such mercy fall to this one who is weak and devoid of intelligence? Allow me to be with you. Prahlad Maharaj is also saying that, as we are seeing in the verse. What is that? Kim Tostum Arhate Ugrajate. I am the son of the demoniac, son Hiranyakashipu. What qualities I have? How can I please Narsingadev? How can I offer any prayers? If I am born in demoniac, I have no qualities. But by following Lord Brahma, he went on. And then he offered prayers. So, for the last line, if you examine me, this is what the introspection, the inspection, we're talking introspection must have. Then only we'll come to this Guru Gata Pran, Mat-Gatha-Prana. If you examine me, you will find no qualities. Your mercy is all that I am made of. If you are not merciful unto me, I can only weep and I will not be able to maintain my life. And this is a one prayer by Narottam Das Thakur. There is another prayer by again Narottam Das Thakur. And what position? See, Narottam Das Thakur is a great acharya, liberated personality, Krishna Prema devotee. So, and they are putting their own position. They are thinking they are not devotees. So that is what we have. Then they can come to this stage. If one who is always thinking that I don't have any qualities, I am not even a devotee, then he can become Guru Gata Pran because he is not. There is no independent nature. If you want, somebody has to become Guru Gata Prana or Mat-Gata Prana of the Lord or his representative, then he has to give up his independent nature. He has to depend on Guru for everything. Then he can attain that quality. So that's what they are suffering. You can see in these prayers. This is Narottam Das Thakur on the table. What's going on? So Narottam Das Thakur is another song. Takura Vaishnava Gana Koro Ye Nivedana Moboro Adharma Durachara Daruna Samsara Nidhi Tahe Dubailo Vidhi Kese Dhari More Koro Para Vidhi Boro Balavan Nasune Dharma Gnana सदाए कर्म पासे बांधे नादे की तारण लेश जो तो देखी सब क्लेश अनाथ कातरे ते कांदे काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद अभिमान साह आपन आपन स्थाने ताने हमारा ऐचन मन फिरे जेनो अंध जाना सुपत विपत नाही जाने नालो येनो सत्मत असते मजिलो चित्त तुया पदे ना कोरिमो आशा नरोत्तम दासे कोई देखी सुनी लागे बोय ताराए लोहो निज पास. I was not able to sing. You had to practice. There is certain tune the way we sing. Oh saintly Vaishnavas, although I am very fallen, see his position, how he is submitting. Oh saintly, he is praying to all the Vaishnavas of the Lord. Oh saintly Vaishnavas, although I am very fallen and misbehaved, I still place this appeal before you. My destiny has plunged me into the fearsome ocean of repeated birth and death. Please grab me by the hair, sorry, and pull me to the opposite shore. My destiny is very powerful. I am not able to hear the knowledge of spiritual life, and I am always bound by the ropes of karma. I cannot see any way to escape my condition. I see only suffering. Helpless and stricken with grief, I cry. My blind mind cannot see what path is auspicious or inauspicious. My blind mind is helplessly dragged from here to there by lust, anger, greed, bewilderment, madness, and pride. My mind became immersed in the impermanent satisfaction of the senses. I could not understand the real goal of life. For this reason, I did not aspire to attain your lotus feet. Narottam Das says, now that I am able to see, hear, touch the Vaishnavas, I have become free from all fear. You see that? Well, how can we become fearless? This way. How? By seeing the Vaishnavas, by hearing from the Vaishnavas, by touching the Vaishnavas' feet. Then we can become what kind of Vaishnavas? That we have to see. What kind of Vaishnavas? Pure devotees of the Lord. Aham bhakta paradino asva santrihi dvija. My pure devotees, as the Lord is mentioning. And we see that also about this. Who are these devotees? In some other place. But anyway, we understand the position now. Let's go back to the Prahlad Maharaj. Understand. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked by Hiranyakashipu that how did you become a devotee? How did you become a devotee? Then Prahlad Maharaj is addressing, not asking. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj, first of all, he's not talking about that. He's not answering that question. First is answering that, you know, so he's talking about the verse, what is that? Matirna Krishna Parata Swatova, because in this verse, as mentioning, Mat Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana. Chitta, consciousness, the mind. We cannot become mind, or the consciousness cannot become fully Krishna conscious by, by our own strength or by somebody instructing. That's what he's telling Hiranyakasipu. Prahlad Maharaj is instructing Hiranyakasipu. Matirna Krishna Parata Swatova. Why? Why somebody cannot become a devotee by himself, by his own strength? Despite somebody is also instructing, but still they cannot become. So Prahlad Maharaj is answering that question. Matirna Krishna Parata Swatova. Parata Swato. Swato means by his own endeavor or by others. Parata Swatova. Vidyo Abhipadyeda Graha Vratana. Why? What was the cause? Why you can't become devotee? Because you are attached to Graha Vratana. One who is attached to his own home, his wealth, name, fame, wife, kids. He is thinking that this is my own property. Independent nature. He is not seeing anything as a property of Lord. He is seeing everything as my property, my wealth, my cell phone, my TV, my car, everything is mine. And it is for my enjoyment, for my senses. It is for my pleasure. Everything has to be done for my own enjoyment, for my own happiness. And this independent nature goes all the way, even after initiation, first initiation, second initiation, sometimes even further, sometimes after taking sannyas also, in some cases. This independent nature, with independent nature, we cannot become Guru Gata Pran, neither we can become Mat-Gata Pran. So that's why here Prahlad Maharaj is instructing how I became devotee. You cannot become a devotee. First of all, let's see why you didn't become a devotee. He's not answering. Like if somebody is asking why we put tilak, then first, why we shouldn't put tilak? You tell me what, why we shouldn't put tilak? Why you shouldn't put it? When you are applying your, scents and perfumes and creams and whatnot, what is wrong with putting a tilak? What is wrong with putting a tilak? He's not answering what is the reason, what it means, what it signifies. No, it is not even answering. But Prahlad Maharaj's preaching is like this. So he's instructing Hiranyakashipu that Matirna Krishna Parata Swatova Vidyo Avipadyeta Gruha Vratana. Because you are attached to your Hiranyakashipu. Otherwise, Hiranyakashipu is a great scholar, great Pandit, he's a Brahmana. Kamsa, same thing. Look at these demons, Ravana. Ravana is also a great scholar, great Pandit. But then, what does he have any? What all these people want? They want like specifically Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. What they want? Hiranyakashipu approached Lord Brahma, Ravana approached Lord Shiva. But what do they want? Are they really upasana, worship of Guru, Acharya upasana? They are worshipping. In this case, Brahma is Acharya and Lord Shiva is Acharya. They are worshipping. But are they really following instruction? No. They just want some benefits from Lord Brahma. So this is not actually Guru Gata Pran. This is not Mat-Gata Pran. They are just only their wealth and scholarship, everything is used to gain benefits for their own enjoyment, not to reach the higher goal. That also Prahlad Maharaj is instructing further. First point is telling is you are attached to your opulence. You want to enjoy yourself independently. That's why you cannot understand Krishna. You cannot become a devotee by yourself, or somebody instruct you, come to temple, take the book and follow, read. No, they can't become. They can't become. Because too much attached to this Graha business. Adanta Gobir Panata Charvita Charanana. And then they are after this Gruha Pratana and then chewing the shoot, same thing. They have done in past many lifetimes, this life also. They're so much attached, they just can't see it. And Bhagavad is also same thing Krishna is mentioning in another verse. Bhogeswara Prasaktanam Taya Aparata Chetana Chatusam Samadho Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhana Vidiyati. They cannot have any determination to execute, chant the holy name or hear or come to temple, take prasad. No, they can't have determination. They're so weak. They are so weak that they themselves can't practice. Even if somebody instruct also, they just can't practice it. Their faith is so weak on this. Why? Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning. Nate vidu swartha gasim durasaya Bahirattamanandayatandairupaniyamana te Pishatantra Urudam Nibadde. Because they don't know you and Prahlad Maharaj is directly instructing who is your guru. Hiranyakashipu is asking that Prahlad Maharaj is saying, forget about my guru. You yourself are blind and your guru is also blind. He is telling, because you don't know why you cannot become a devotee, even if somebody instructs you, you cannot become a Swartha Gati. You don't know the real goal of life is Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. That's why you cannot become a devotee. When your goal of life is to just simply after this Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti or happiness, material happiness, flickering happiness, you are after this sense enjoyment, then you didn't understand Swartha, real Swarthagati, Nate Vidu Swarthagatim Durasaya Bahirattamanin. You are after external pleasures. So then you can't become devotee at all. Bhairattamanina Andayatandair Upaniyama. You yourself are blind in this business of becoming a servant of Krishna or following his representative Guru Gata Pran or understanding his desires and mood and pleasing him. You are acting independently. You want to independently desire and please your own senses. You don't want to actually follow, you don't want to please Krishna or his representative senses. But Krishna is telling, I am not independent. I am pleasing my devotee senses. I want to be controlled by devotees. That's why Yasodama is able to find Krishna. That's why gopis are able to, have time with Krishna. Cowherd boys are able to jump on him and snatch him and feed him or take snatch his food from his mouth and take it. All those things they are able to because he is not. They are not. Lord is not independent. Lord is controlled by their love, intense love. Mat-Gatha-Prana. This is what Guru Gata Prana also means. So much because he is after devotees. Lord is after devotees, and then when we are after those pure devotees, then that's it. We can also become like this one of them. We can also by simply following, as Narottam Das Thakur saying, till now I am being this lust, anger, greed, so much anarthas, but minute I started associating with these devotees, these Vaishnavas, seeing them, serving them, that's it. Now I realized Swarthagati is gone. Now I understand the real goal of life is Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Nate vidu Swarthagatim Dhorasaya Bahirattaman Andayatandair Upaniyamana Te Pisa Tantra Urudam Nibadde. I'm being these three ropes, I'm being bound with the ropes because of blindness in the Grahavrata business. So Hiranyakashipu couldn't see. Hiranyakashipu worshipping Lord Brahma for getting some benefits. You want to become powerful, you want to become immortal. Same thing with that, who's that? Um, Ravana also same thing. He wanted benefit from Lord Shiva. So he didn't want it actually understand the mood of Lord Shiva. He didn't want it actually really please. So that's why they cannot become Mat-Gatha-Prana or Guru Gata-Prana. They can't become. They just want, they are blind. They are blind in the goal of life. So that's why they can't attain. So that's why this second verse is very, very important. One cannot come to this platform of Mat-Gata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Katayanta Chamam Nischam, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. We cannot engage in chanting and hearing and remembering throughout the day. It's very difficult to come to this Sambandha after knowing the relationship between the Lord and devotee and performing the practice of hearing, chanting, and remembering, and then relishing it. Smarana. Smarana cannot happen throughout the day. How much we can remember Krishna? Hardly. Hardly. Maybe during chanting, maybe when we are at temple, maybe while taking prasad, maybe little bit. That also doubtfully. So that is our consciousness. You can understand how much we are ingrained with this real goal of life. Very, very little. But if you follow simply Guru Gata Pran by following the Guru who has completely immersed in serving his previous spiritual master and the Lord, then by following them slowly and gradually, we can also become one of them. We can also come to that stage. So that's why Lord Krishna is emphasizing who can understand my opulence, who can see my opulence everywhere throughout the world. Wherever he sees his wife, he sees his kids, he sees wealth, cell phone, everything he is seeing as Krishna's opulence. He is not seeing this is my own opulence, this is my wealth. No, he's not seeing anything like that. He's seeing everything as Krishna's and Guru's property. He's not seeing anything independent. So this is the vision they will have when they understand this four coded verses, very, very deep verses. Mat-Chitta, Mat-Gatha-Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Kathayantascha Mam Nityam, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Then, when they understand this Abhideya and Prayojana, then Krishna is mentioning. Then what will happen? Then what will they further do? What will Lord will do? What result he will give? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. By engaging in this 24 by 7, Tesham satatam means always, yuktanam means engaged with him, in relation with him. Bhajatam priti purvakam, out of love, not by karma or gnana or many benefits. No, only out of love, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning that Aikantiki one-pointed Atma Samarpan. Asreshavaam Padaratam Pinastumam Marmahatam Karotu Yata Tatavatu Lampato Matprananadastu Saiv Napara. Whether you break my heart or trample me down, whatever you may do, you can do anything with me. I am yours, you are mine. I don't want to do any business. I am yours. You engage me in service or you give me a distress, whatever you may want to do, but I am always yours. No conditions. I have no conditions. I am not here to do business. I am only in love with you. So that is the position Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting. So here also Lord Krishna is mentioning the third verse. Tesham, by having this quality of Mat-Gatha-Prana, then they will engage in loving devotion service to me. Then what will I give? Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. I will give the love, the Krishna prema, because by seeing their heart, by seeing their consciousness, they always want to engaging in loving service to me. Then I also want to give myself to them. The Dadami buddhi yogam tam, yena mam upayantite, by which they will come to me. So now we are not in this position, then we have to introspect. So the inspection or introspection we're talking about. So that introspection means when you go to the multi-point inspection of the car to the mechanic, or you take to the inspection of the car, uh, what will happen? You need to show, you need to have a license, you need to have a registration, you need to have insurance. Then they will check. Without these three things, they cannot even check, they cannot even inspect. So that means your license, registration, insurance is like the first of all, if you are in Grihastha ashram, you are licensed. That is, there is a license is being given to do certain things. You can only do those certain things. Same way, registration is for the car, license is for the driver. Insurance is if there is a problem comes, provided when insurance will cover, when you follow the rules, the tenants rules laid out by the insurance company, then insurance will pay. Even if you are at fault, maybe to some extent, but if you are trying to follow the rules, then they will cover. Same way, when we become Guru Gata Pran, when you follow the instructions of Guru and Shastra, Guru always talks about Shastra. That's why Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Satma Bandhu Mui Savadane Mate. Savadana means you have to be always sadhu, sadhu. That means you have to be very careful. You have to be alert always to understand Guru's instruction and follow his instruction. Then further, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. You have to follow the instructions very carefully. Whatever he speaks from his lotus mouth, then I have to hear and then you have to follow carefully and try to apply it. That's where this Guru Gata Pran will become Guru Gata Pran. That means it will become life and soul. If Guru says something ABC, then we will do ABC. There is no question, there is no logic, there is no calculations. It will help me. What will happen to my wealth? What will happen to this? What will happen to that? There is no second thoughts. We will just follow it. That is what Guru Gata Pran means. So the inspection is like that. Insurance is like the Guru will give assurance to go back to Godhead. Guru will save from life, birth, death, old age, disease. When provided when we follow the instruction. The license is like in the Grihastha ashram. This is for a driver, the soul. There are certain rules and regulations. That means we have to introspect that we have to make sure how much we are able to follow for regulated principles. Not all that is that for the registered practitioner, that is a registration. When you are operating on this body, using this body like using the car, they replace the various oils, engine oil, and so many different oils are there in the car. When you go for multi-point inspection, sometimes they'll tell you 20 years, 20,000 miles have passed, 50,000 miles have passed, and then they replace. You have to replace the engine oil. You have to replace this oil, that oil, powertrain oil, whatnot, because it became dirty. It's not good for the engine. You have to replace. So that means we may be performing certain irreligious activities, or there are certain things which is taking you away from chanting. It is certain things which are taking you away from Krishna conscious activity. It is not letting you hear. It is not letting you read. Your time is taken away, withdrawn, or taken away by all other material activities, or sometimes it is irreligious activities. It could be different friend circles, parties, whatnot, you name it. There could be so many things. We have to check. That's why there is a samiksha, there is a pratiksha, there is a pariksha. Pariksha is at the last. Well, sometimes we will be tested throughout our life, but there should be samiksha. Always we have to check where will I draw line, how long I can go on having these parties and going after running day after day, 24 by 7. I'm after. Let me finish this work. I will do more. I will do more. How long? When we become close to 60, 70, then no use. At that time, then no one is going to help. When we are 30, 40 years, when we are young, we have to make sure we balance our lifestyle of our work, our family, and making sure it is not withdrawing our time, taking us away from Krishna. That is what license means. License for the soul, and registration is for the car. That means for the body. Body has to follow as per Shastra. If you don't follow, insurance will not cover. So same way here also Guru cannot cover. Guru cannot protect you because you don't want to follow the rules. Shastra cannot protect you either. Yes, Shastra vidyam utsrijya vartate kamakara na siddhyam na apnoti lana labhate para. Minute you don't follow Shastra, then there is no result, even no material benefit, no spiritual benefit. Because you think you are getting material benefit, you are enjoying, you are able to lead life because in the past. Because of past activities, you are pious state, that's why you are getting some wealth, some job is there, some money is there, some wife and kids and wealth, car, this and that, because of past. But future, if you don't utilize it properly, take it for granted, utilize it, you enjoy, in the next life finished, you don't have any more credits, then suffering will continue. So that's why we have to be very careful how we utilize, even though it is, we might be working, we might be receiving wealth, we may have all these benefits because of our hard work, but we have to utilize it carefully. If we become independent, try to utilize for our own, then future will be bleak. Future may not be even human birth. So that's why we have to be very careful to understand this license, understand this registration, understand the insurance, these three things. Then we have to replace. As the mechanic replaces, tells, instruct you, the even the when you go for car inspection, also if some emissions or gases or the brakes or the lights, the basic things are not working, then they will not give you inspection sticker. They will tell you have to go and fix with the mechanic, then you come back and we will give you inspection sticker. So that means we have to make sure the license, the four regulatory principles are followed. We have to make sure the chanting, the hearing, the reading, the health, these things are followed. And this is to increase the quality as well. First of all, we have to follow the chanting. Okay, one round, you start with 2 rounds, increase it gradually. Don't stay at the one round for years and years. We don't have much time in this human life, very rare. We have very short time. We don't even know in Kali it's even more. Hardly 60, 70 years at the best. And that also sometimes it is not even known how long we are going to be there. So that's why we have to be carefully utilized every day. Uh, that's how we have to lead. Avyartha kalatvam, namagana sadaruchi, priti vasati stale. There should be a taste for the chanting the holy name. There should be a taste for taking the darshan of the Lord. There should be a taste to follow the Ekadasi. There should be a taste to avoid not following four regulatory principles, including coffee, tea, and whatnot, smoking and drinking, whatnot. All these things are coming under this licensed business, coming under the registration things. You must, if you want to be registered bhakta, in the parampara, in the sampradaya, in the under the direction of the spiritual master, within the injunctions of Shastra, then we have to follow. Then only, otherwise we are not registered. We are illegal, basically. That's what it is. So that's why we have to be carefully follow, and then chanting and hearing and reading has to be followed. If something is taking us away from chanting, something is taking away from hearing, something is taking us away from remembering the Lord, we're not able to perform Krishna consciousness, then we have to introspect. We have to see how we can avoid, how we can remove those things, how we can minimize it, how we can reduce those things, because it's not going to help. Neither friends can help you, neither doctor can help you, neither family members can help you. Throughout you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, for Narada Muni, Gajendra, you look at Gajendra, who has helped? No one, only Lord helped. 1,000 years he fought with the crocodile. None of his family members, even though he was so strong, Gajendra was so powerful, but he couldn't. He couldn't even protect himself. His family members couldn't protect him. Only Lord has to protect. He offered his prayer because of his bhakti unmukha sukriti from the past life. Then he was able to call out to the Lord when he realized that I don't have power. I'm not a great strength. I thought I have great strength as a Gajendra. That's why he fought 1,000 years. Then he realized. But we don't, in Kali Yuga, we don't have much time. We think that I have a great, wealth and everything. I have a great family, everything going on nicely. Why should I need to chant? Why should I worship Krishna? Why should I follow all these things? It doesn't make any sense to me. It seems some mythology. It seems something fictitious. We think that no one can help because Shastra is clearly telling, sadhus are clearly telling, and we see the example in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is clearly giving example of 12th canto, how the Kali Yuga starts, who has ruled it, and at the end of Kali Yuga, who's going to rule it, how the people will live, what consciousness they will have. Everything is being given. Then where is the question of mythology? Where is the question of not believing? Everything is so much detailedly given how it will be, how living entities will be affected. So that's why we have to understand this, how these three Tapatraya Unmolanam, how these three modes of material nature we can counteract, how we can come out of this. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is instructing. If you want to move, transform from the Swartha Gati, the material Gati, material attachment to the Krishna's attachment, real Swartha Gati, then what we have to do? If you want to come out from this following the unwanted activities, not following the Guru's instruction, then uh, you want to transform, you want to come out of this anartha business, what we have to do? Naisham matistavad urukramangram sprasati anartha upagamam. Anartha upagamam. When it will come? When you take shelter of mahiyasam padarajo abhishekam nishkinchananam navranitayavat. Naisham matistavad. When you right now your mati is in all material activities. It is not on Krishna. It is not on Guru. Neither Mat-Gatha-Prana, neither Guru-Gatha-Prana. Naisham matis tavad urukramangram. Urukrama is Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Mat-Gatha, Naisham matis tavad urukramangram. Sprasati anartha apagama. You have to take the dust of Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishekam. Taking the dust doesn't mean that give me blessings, O Sadhu, O Guru, please give me the blessing, touch his feet. That is not what here means. Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishekam Nishkinchanana Navranita Yavat. Because Guru is always thinking Nishkinchan, I don't possess anything. Only Lord possesses, my previous Acharya possesses. He is giving me strength, he is giving me the intelligence, he is giving me the buddhi, as Krishna is mentioning, Tesham Satadiktanam Dadam Buddhi Yogam. I am giving the intelligence. My Guru is giving the intelligence, my Guru is giving the strength. That's why I am able to do some little service here, little chanting here, and something. I am able to transform myself and maybe give little knowledge to others. By Guru's strength, Guru's intelligence. I have no qualities, I have no independence. It is all Guru is giving. Whatever he is giving, that's what I am made of. So that is what here. Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishekam. That means following the instruction. More than Vapu, more than taking dust, really dust, physically taking, literally taking dust from his lotus feet. It is more to do with following his instructions, making his instructions as life and soul. That's what it is. Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishekam Nishkinchanana Navranitayavat. Then actually we'll attain the perfection. Then we can actually do quality rounds of chanting. Until that, we don't have. There is no power. We may do chanting, we may hear, but actually we are not able, we are not able to communicate with Krishna. We are not able to have a Guru Darshan. Guru Darshan means You are seeing Guru's position, you are seeing Guru's qualities, you are seeing Guru's desires, and you are following his instruction, they are helping. We are not able to understand any of that. That means we don't have Guru Darshan. One who doesn't have Guru Darshan, he cannot give Krishna Darshan. He cannot attain Krishna. Yes, Krishna is mentioning here. Aham Bhakta Paradino. Swatantra hi dvija. I am not independent. I am controlled by my devotees. When Lord is saying I am controlled by my devotees, where is the question of attaining Krishna Prema, attaining Krishna, seeing Krishna? There is no question. Unless we are dependent on the mercy of Guru, on the mercy of the pure devotees who are dedicated to Krishna, who are attached to Krishna, then by following them, Nishkinchananam Navrinitaya, because they themselves are thinking, I don't possess anything, it is all because of my Guru. Mukam Karodi Vacharam Pangum Langayate. Yat Krupatamaham Vande. Sri Gurum Devatar, Paramananda Madhavam, Sri Chaitanya Yesu. So that's what it is. This is the importance of this verse, Mat-Gatha-Prana. One word has so much significance. It cannot be explained in one class. Mat-Chita, Mat-Gatha-Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Kathayantascha Mam Nityam, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha, and then Tesham Satadevtanam. When we have that attitude, that consciousness, it is not mind's job, it is not intelligence job. In bhakti, you cannot use your mind, you cannot use your intelligence. You have to use your heart. It has to be done with love. That is what bhakti means. Mind, we utilize your mind means we are operating on a mental platform. We are using, this is good for me, this is bad for me. We are thinking our own independently, we are thinking this. When Krishna instructs, we think this is mind is instructing me. When mind is instructing, this is Krishna's instruction, let me do something. That's what we are thinking. We are not able to understand what Paramatma is instructing, what Guru is instructing, we are not able to understand. Because we have this independent nature. This independent nature has to be given up. Bhakti is all to do with the heart, that heart to heart. Transformation has to happen means we have to follow those hearts who are attached to Krishna. By following them this Divya Gnan Hruda Prakashito. It is not mentioning Mana Prakashito or Buddhi Prakashito. It is Hruda Prakashito. Heart has to be transformed. It is heart to heart connection. The love is to do with the heart. Bhakti is to do with the heart, not with the mind, not with intelligence, not with the senses, but the mind, it is especially heart. So that's why we have to use our heart, use our love for Krishna, love for his devotees, especially those who are dedicated their life to serve Krishna. By serving them, by following their instruction, by being attached, by hearing from them, then we can actually come to this. Tesham Satayuktanam Bhajitam Priti Purvam Dadam Buddhi Yogam Tam. Then we can attain Krishna. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Even if we are not intelligent, even if we are not studied, if we are materially, we are illiterate, still Krishna will give intelligence. Krishna will give Krishna Prema. Because he is seeing the heart. How much we are attached to Krishna and his representative. Tesham Evanu Kampardam. So merciful. Krishna is so merciful. Because he is seeing the heart. What is there in your heart? Is he independent or is he dependent on Guru and Krishna? Is he? So that's what he is seeing. How much love he has for my devotees. Then accordingly, Krishna is revealing his secrets, revealing the confidential things, revealing how to avoid certain things which is taking us away from Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, he will not reveal. He will cover. He will cover that knowledge. You will not be able to even introspect what is going on in our life. We won't be able to do it because he is covering. Lord is covering. Everything is all right. What you are doing is great already. Lord will make sure that we will be in the same position because we don't want really. We want something else. We have this bhoga pravruti. We want to enjoy ourselves. So we think we are already on nice platform, nicely enjoying. We don't want really Krishna. So that is what it is. Tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnanajam tamo nasayami atma bhavastu gnana deepena vasuta. I will take a torchlight and even ignite and show the real knowledge, how to attain me, even if somebody is illiterate, like the Brahmana in Srirangam. He was illiterate, but he is following Guru's instructions, simply reading Bhagavad. That's what Guru told. He was not able to understand. But by his mercy, Guru's mercy, he was able to cry. He is able to see Arjuna on the chariot. Arjuna, Lord became chariot driver. He is seeing and he is crying. Then how can Lord become a chariot driver where he is pushing with his leg and touching the Lord with the leg and the Lord is not feeling anything? Lord has taken so low a position. So where will that Lord? Who will become? In this material world, anyone can become like that? No one. But here Lord is becoming because he is not independent, he is dependent on devotees, he is controlled by devotees' love, he is controlled by Arjuna's love. That's why he has become. He is controlled by gopis' love. That's why Krishna sometimes takes the feet of the gopis and puts on head, massages their feet also. But what do the gopis think? Gopi mat अश्लेषवां पादरतां तिनस्तूमां मर्महतां करोतु तथा यथा तथा वात लंपटो मत प्राणनादस्तु. He is my Lord. I am the maid servant. He is my Lord and Master of the devotees. That's what gopis are thinking. They are not thinking Lord is putting my feet on my head, so I became great. No, they are not having that consciousness. Nishkinchana, we don't possess anything. Lord is being merciful causelessly, causeless mercy is giving. Otherwise, we don't have any quality of any devotion whatsoever. So this is the actually purity. It is coming with the purity, real, genuine love and devotion and rasa. That mellows are there. So that's what these four verses. Very very deep. These verses we cannot really complete or discuss in one class. It's very deep. So any questions? I'm supposed to read something from Chaitanya Mangal and Chaitanya Bhagavat. But let me read. I think there is one pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord is teaching. There was one poet. What is the name? Bhagavan Acharya, one of the devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has come. He has written. I think his brother, cousin brother or brother, has come from some Calcutta or somewhere. He studied. He was a great. He has studied some. I think MA PhD or whatever the case may be. And then he thought, I am a great devotee. I can write. I have studied. So he has written a poetry. And we will see that. Then he has approached, obviously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one can present before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unless it is reviewed. Samiksha and Pariksha. Unless it is tested by Sarup Damodar Goswami, no one can present before. No one can sing. No one can present before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then when he presented, already Sarup Damodar Goswami told, don't bring these topics. Because bhakti is not about your scholarship. Bhakti cannot, no one can write poetry, no one can glorify Krishna with his own mental thoughts. He has to be, first he has to hear. There he is instructing. In that pastime, when Sarup Damodar Goswami, let me read the verses, then you can understand. This is in Antya chapter 5, verse number, I think 120 or so. Yeah, yeah. भगवान आचार्य स्वरूपेर तानी आचार्य कैला निवेदन एक विप्र प्रभुरा नाटक करी आचे उत्तम. Bhagavan Acharya submitted to Sarup Damodar Goswami. A good Brahmana has prepared a drama about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath that appears exceptionally well composed. This is what they all, even devotees also thought. But we can see Saurabh Damodar is a Visakha Sakhi, associate of Radharani. So he could understand. आदो तुम्ही सुना यदि तुम्हार मना माने पाचे महाप्रभु तबे करीमो श्रवणे. First you hear it, and if it is acceptable to your mind, I shall request Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to hear it. स्वरूपे कहिए तुम्ही गोपक परम उदार यही से ही शास्त्र सुनीते इच्छा उपजे तुम्हार. Saurabh Damodar Goswami replied, Dear Bhagavan Acharya, you are a very liberal coward boy. Sometimes the desire awakens within you to hear any kind of poetry. That's why we have to be very careful. We think anybody singing Hare Krishna, everything is good. I can hear. Anybody is giving class, I can hear. No. Here, now we can see Saurabh Damodar Goswami, what is he saying? Then we can understand what is Krishna conscious, what is not Krishna conscious. Yadava Yadvat Tattva Kavira Vakye Haya Rasa Vas. Siddhanta Viruddha Sunite Na Haya Ullas. In the writings of so-called poet, there is generally a possibility of overlapping transcendental mellows. When the mellows thus go against the conclusive understanding, no one likes to hear such poetry. Yeah. So that's why we have to know the Siddhanta of Acharyas. What is the Tattva? What is Bhakti Tattva? What is Rasa Tattva? What is Jiva Tattva? What is Maya Tattva? What is Krishna Tattva? All these actual Siddhantas has to be understood. Rasa Rasa Bhas Yara Nahi Ka Vichar Bhakti Siddhanta Sindhu Nahi Paya Pa. A so-called poet who has no knowledge of transcendental mellows and the overlapping of transcendental mellows cannot cross the ocean of the conclusions of devotion service. So that's why, unless we are guided by the previous acharya, there is no way. You cannot write, you cannot chant, you cannot hear, you cannot, no transformation in the heart. It just cannot happen. व्याकरण नाही जाने ना जाने अलंकार नाटक अलंकार ज्ञाना नाही का यहार कृष्ण लीला वर्णिते ना जाने से ही चार विशेष दुर्गम ये चैतन्य विहार. A poet who does not know grammatical regulative principle, who is unfamiliar with metaphorical ornaments, especially those employed in drama, who does not know how to present the pastimes of Lord Krishna, is condemned. Moreover, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are especially difficult to understand. Krishna's pastimes are difficult to understand. They think that gopis are performing Rasa Leela with Krishna. They think that it is something else, of material loving relationship between a boy and a girl. But it's completely in a different platform. It is on a highest, deep, ecstatic love. Shastra is telling clearly. Parikshit Maharaj has been questioning, and the Sukadeva Goswami is explaining what it means. Actually, Maya Shakti is working there. When the gopis are performing these activities, their husbands are not able to even realize what's happening. Their husbands are seeing the Maya has given the body, their bodies are there only. They are seeing their wives. They are not able to see where the wives went. Okay. And where this will happen, how this will happen. So much this Maya Shakti, Yoga Maya is in the works. That is what Gopis love is not ordinary. Lord Krishna wants to exhibit the highest Parakya Ras. And these Gopis are not ordinary conditioned souls. They are pure devotees of the Lord. So that's why this is in the 10th canto. This is not explained in the first canto because we have to gradually come to that understanding. Then we can understand and read and understand what is this Gopis love all about. Otherwise, we may mistake of something else. We may apply our material logic and calculations to it, and then we will do offenses. But they have no material bodies, and their husbands are just part of the pastime. It is been given. So, but otherwise they don't have any material body. These gopis of Vrindavan, because with material bodies, how can you perform pastime with Krishna? How can you come in close contact with Krishna? How can you see Krishna? How can you hear Krishna? You cannot. So that's why first that realization has to be there. Then only we can understand those pastimes. So let's see further here. Krishna Leela, Gaura Leela, Sei Kare Varnana, Gaura Pada Padma, Yandra Haya, Prana Dhana. One who has accepted the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his life and soul can describe the pastimes of Lord Krishna or the pastimes of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the condition. First, they have to accept Gat-Prana, Mat-Gatha-Prana. Then you can write, you can translate, you can chant properly, you can hear properly. If not, we can't come to that attentive quality, chanting, quality, hearing, quality, remembering. This cannot happen otherwise. Gramya Kavira Kavitera Sunite Haya Dukha. Vidagda Atmiya Vakya Sunite Haya Sukha. Hearing the poetry of a person who has no transcendental knowledge and who writes about the relationship between a man and woman simply causes unhappiness. Whereas hearing the words of a devotee fully absorbed in ecstatic love causes great happiness. So that's why there is a big difference here between this devotee. Bhagavan Acharya is great devotee, he understands, but he was much more liberal. He thought, oh, this cousin brother or brother, he is maybe qualified, but is not able to understand. Because of his too much liberal. Rupa Eiche Dui Nataka Kari Ache Arambe Sunite Ananda Bade Yara Mukha Bande. The standard of writing dramas has been set by Rupa Goswami. If a devotee hears the introductory portions of these two dramas, this is Vidagdha Madhav and Lalita Madhav. Rupa Goswami has written about Dwarka Leela and Vrindavan Leela. They enhance his transcendental pleasure. This is because Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari, direct associate of Lalita. He can write. Because he could understand the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he can write. But not everybody can write. भगवान आचार्य कहे सुनो एक बार तुम्हें सुनीले बाला मंद जानी बे विचार. Despite the explanation of Saru Damodar, Bhagavan Acharya requested. this generally shouldn't be done. But this is a lesson. The Lord is teaching a lesson. That's why this pastime is there. Because devotees should follow. Once it has been told, like this, Swarup Damodar Goswami is not ordinary devotee. Once he is saying that don't bring these topics without having proper qualification. It is not good. But still somebody is bringing, no, listen once, which is not a good etiquette. But here, this is to teach us a lesson. When to hear, what is the etiquette should be. Despite the explanation of Swarup Damodar, Bhagavan Acharya requested, please hear the drama once. If you hear it, you can consider whether it's good or bad. दुई तेना देना आचार्य आग्रह करीला तानरा agrahe swarupe rat sunite icha haila. Devotee became angry. For 2 or 3 days, Bhagavan Acharya continually asked Swarup Damodar Goswami to hear the poetry. Because of his repeated requests, Swarup Damodar Goswami wanted to hear the poetry written by the Brahmana from Bengal. Sava Lana Swarupa Gosani Sunite Vasila Tabe Sei Kavi Nandi Sloka Padaila. So, what do you do? Like sometimes Prabhupada also some people approach. What is wrong with being a dog in the next life? Tadastu. Prabhupada said, yeah. If you don't know what is the difference between human life and dog life, and you want to be a dog, then you have all my blessings. That's what Prabhupada said. What can you say? That means you have no consciousness whatsoever, what is good, what is not good. What is human life, what is dog life. If it is same thing, then go for it. So sometimes that's what. If Guru is instructing something, you want to argue with Guru and then you ask, no, can you give me that? Can I do this? Not this? Then which is not a good thing. Because Guru knows exactly what you need, what you don't need. So pure devotee of the Lord knows exactly what you need, what you don't need. Based on your quality, exactly you will know. Because otherwise you won't be able to do the right justice, right love. You can't progress. Swarup Damodar Goswami sat down with other devotees to hear the poetry. Then the poet began to read the introductory verse. Vikacha Kamala Netre Sri Jagannath Sangne Kanaka Ruchire Ihatmani Atmatam F Prapanna Prakriti Jadam Asesham Chetayan Avirasit Sa Disatu Tava Bhavyam Krishna Chaitanya Deva. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has assumed a golden complexion and has become the soul and body named Lord Jagannath, whose blooming lotus eyes are widely expanded. Thus he has appeared in Jagannath Puri and brought dull matter to life. May that Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Dev, bestow all good fortune upon you. Sloka suni sarvaloka tanre vakane swarupa kahe yehi sloka karahe vyakyane. When everyone present heard the verse, they all commended the poet. But Swarup Damodar Goswami requested him, kindly explain the verse. What is your understanding? Kavi kahe Jagannath sundara sarira Chaitanya Goswami sarira mahadira. The poet said, Lord Jagannath is a most beautiful body, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exceptionally grave, is the owner of that body. See the difference. His understanding is not there. Sahaje Jada Jagatera Chetana Karaite Nilachal Mahaprabhu Haila Avirbhute. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared in here in Nilachal Jagannath Puri to spiritualize the entire dull material world. Suniya Savar Haila Anandita Mane Dukka Pana Swarupa Kahe Sakroda Bachan. Hearing this, everyone present was greatly happy, but Swarup Damodar who alone was very unhappy, began to speak in great anger. आरे मूर्ख अपनार कैला सर्वनाश दुईत ईश्वरे तोरा नाही का विश्वास. You are a fool. He said, you have brought ill fortune upon yourself, for you have no knowledge of the existence of the true Lord Jagannath Dev and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nor have you faith in them. Purnananda Chit Swarupa Jagannath Raya Tanre Kaila Jada Naswara Prakruta Kaya. Lord Jagannath is completely spiritual and full of transcendental bliss, but you have compared him to a dull, destructible body composed of the inert and external energy of the Lord. Purna Sad Aishwarya Chaitanya Swayam Bhagavan Tanre Kaila Shudra Jiva Spulinga Saman. You have calculated Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of 6 opulences, to be on the level of an ordinary living being. Instead of knowing him as the Supreme Fire, you have accepted him as a spark. दुई तानी अपराधे पैवे दुर्गति तत्व बनने तारा एति यही रीति. Swarup Damodar continued, because you have committed an offense to Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will attain a hellish destination. You do not know how to describe the absolute truth, but nevertheless, you have tried to do so. Therefore, you must condemned. You must be condemned because understanding is not there, but he wants to write poetry. So that's why then he instruct, very important instruct, 2 verses, Surabdamar is going to instruct. आर एक करियाचे परम प्रमाद देह देहि वेद ईश्वरे कैले अपराध. You are in complete illusion, for you have distinguished between the body and the soul of his lordship, Lord Jagannath or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is a great offense. ईश्वरेण नाही कबो ये देह देहि वेद स्वरूप देह चिद आनंद नाही का विभेद. At no time is there a distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of God. His personal identity and his body are made of blissful spiritual energy. There is no distinction between them. Deha dehi vibhago ayam na ishvare vidyate kvaje. There is no distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of God at any time. Then he further quoting a big verse here. Oh my Lord, I do not see form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of cosmic manifestation, yet you are untouched by matter. Further, as mentioned, Kahan Purnanandiswara Krishna Mayeswara Kahan Ksudra Jiva Dukhi Mayara Kinkara. Whereas Krishna, absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of God, is full of transcendental bliss, possessor of 6 opulences in full, and is the master of material energy, and a small conditioned soul who is always unhappy is servant of the material energy. Difference is explaining between the Lord and the conditioned soul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Controller, is always full of transcendental bliss. He is accompanied by potencies known as Radhini and Samvit. The conditioned soul, however, is always covered by ignorance, embarrassed by threefold miseries of life. Thus, he is a treasure house of all kinds of tribulations. Why it becomes conditioned. Suni Sabha Sadera Chitte Aila Chamatkar Satya Kahe Gosani Dunhara Kari Ache Tiraskar. Hearing this explanation, all the members of the assembly were struck with wonder. Swarup Damodar Goswami has spoken the real truth. They admitted the Brahmana from Bengal has committed an offense by wrongly describing Lord Jagannath and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Suniya Kabira Haila Lajja Baya Vismaya Hamsa Madhye Baka Iche Kichu Nahi Kaya. When the Bengal poet heard this chastisement from Swarup Damodar Goswami, he was ashamed, fearful, and astonished. Indeed, being like a duck in a society of white swans, he could not say anything. Tara Dukka Deki Swarupa Sadaya Hridaya Upadesa Kaila Tare Aicha Hita Haya. Seeing the Lord poet's unhappiness, Swarup Damodar Goswami was naturally very kind hearted, advised him so that he could derive some benefit. Now the important verse. Yeah, these 2 verses are important. With that, we'll stop. Yaha Bhag. This is 131 and 132 from Mantalila Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter. Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavera Sthane Ekanta Ashtraya Kara Chaitanya Charane. If you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, you must approach a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. So this is what we have to, whom we have to hear from. This is the instruction here. You cannot understand otherwise. The transcendental literature is not based on the scholarship, how many years of material experience they may have, not based on the beauty. None of these are the qualifications. If you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, you must approach a self-realized Vaishnava. Who is self-realized Vaishnava? Then Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking about it in the 2nd chapter when Arjuna is asking that question. How does he walk? How does he sit? How does he behave? He doesn't operate, first of all, on the mental platform. He operates exactly what Guru is instructing, what Prabhupada is instructing. He exactly follows. One who is very much deeply attached to the Shastra and Sadhu and Guru, Mat-Gatha-Prana, then that's what we have to hear from. Not anybody and everybody. That is a clear distinction. Otherwise, transformation will be different. You must approach a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. You can do this when you have a completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When you sincerely pray to Krishna, Krishna will arrange. When you pray to Krishna, Lord Nityananda, Balaram, and Sri Prabhupada, that they will arrange whom to hear from. If you are sincere enough, If we cry, if we pray sincerely, they will arrange. If your heart is simple, not crooked, not duplicities, then they will arrange the right person to hear from. They will arrange who our spiritual master should be. This Lord knows. Lord knows the heart of the practitioner. Lord knows what is there in our heart. According to our prayers, revelations will happen. According to our prayers, Lord will arrange the spiritual master. Lord will arrange the situation. Lord will arrange particular devotees whom we will associate with. If you have a sincere desire, according to those desires, Lord is arranging. So that's why we have to have real, sincere, genuine desire to actually understand Krishna, understand and attain Krishna. So then Krishna will arrange the right platform, right association. He will bring to the right platform. So that's what is been instructed here. That's why the last line, shelter our lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then only you can come to that real Vaishnava, self-realized Vaishnava. Otherwise, it's just not possible. The second verse also important, 132. Chaitanyera Bhakta Ganera Nitya Kara Sangha Tabete Janivo Siddhanta Samudra Taranga. Sarodama continued. I associate regularly with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For then only you will understand the waves of the ocean of devotion service. So if you want to understand bhakti, if you want to become Mat-Gatha-Prana, Mat-Gatha-Prana, you have to associate with devotees. You have no other choice. With whom? Sajatiya Snigde Sadhu Sanghe Sutovrute. Rupa Goswami explained in Mixture of Devotion Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That we have to associate with the advanced devotees, those who have dedicated their life and soul, their heart is of Guru and Krishna's business. They have no other business, separate business. They have no other independent business. Their only business is to please Guru and Krishna, serve Krishna. That is their life mission. No other Swarthagati. That is only Swarthagati they have. How to serve Guru and Krishna. Then we have to associate with those realized souls. We have to serve them. We have to hear from them. We have to follow their instruction. Then we can become Mat-Gatha-Prana, and we can pass the final exam. Guru will personally will take us back. Guru will make us remember Krishna. That will become Guru's business. Because when we are dependent on Guru, Guru also will do his business. When we are not dependent on Guru, we have our independence, then Guru cannot do. That is like insurance. Insurance will not cover. Anything you do accident without following, the insurance will not cover. You have to pay from your own pocket. So then Guru also cannot do. Guru cannot cover you when you want to follow your independent behavior. But if you want to follow him, then Guru will cover. Guru will make sure that you remember and you go back to God or another planet where Krishna is performing pastime. That's where we will go. So because that becomes a Guru's responsibility when you are following Guru's instruction. So that is what today's verse is, very, very deep verses. Any quick questions? Anyone has comments, clarifications? I am unmuted. Anyone has? You can ask questions, comments. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna Gandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta ki jai. No questions. Everybody understood?
Prabhu, I think Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I think I'm sorry. I think I heard everything, but I think for 1 second, I'm sorry, I lost my attention span for 1 second. So when you said that if you have the right intent, if you have the right purity of heart,
Yes.
then Krishna will connect you with the right guru.
Yes.
Was there anything you said right before that? I think I might have missed a sentence before that. Like, is that the full meaning, or did I miss that?
You will arrange the right platform, right association of devotees and spiritual master as well. We have the right consciousness. And so, because then I mentioned about who is that self-realized soul. How do we know that one whose business is always Guru's and Krishna's business? That is his only business. He has no other agenda. His business is how to please. He doesn't have any independent nature. His only nature is dependent on what Guru and Krishna is instructing. That is what is life and soul is, that is what his business is. Then that's how you know that Namagana Sadaruchi, Pritita Vasati Stale, Avyartha Kalam. He doesn't waste time. He thinks everything is property of Krishna, nothing should be wasted. And so these are the some of the qualities of advanced devotee. Nectar of devotion gives those that one of the verse is attached to chanting, hearing, remembering, is attached to executing Krishna's and Guru's instructions. He doesn't waste time, and we can see all these qualities in Prabhupada. He's always absorbed. He doesn't want a single penny to be wasted, not a drop of water wasted, nothing. He becomes so angry and upset when he sees anything getting wasted, anything which is unclean, anything not properly done, anything not attentively done, whether it's dressing, whatever service. He's always observing. Wherever he is, whatever temple he is visiting, he's always observing. He's examining how things are done to teach that everything is property of Krishna, how it should be utilized, how carefully it should be done, how attentively it should be done, how meticulously it should be done. So that cannot come so easily. It requires a lot of practice, a lot of internal meditation, a lot of devotion has to be there, and right guidance. We have to be guided with the right personalities. Then we can come to that level. Otherwise, we'll have all kinds of speculations and so many independent desires. Then it's very difficult to approach Krishna or attain Krishna. Is that clear, Raj Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, it is. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Any other devotees have questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Abhay here. Just a comment, Prabhu.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead. Abhay Prabhu.
Yeah, based on what you said today, one example came to my mind as a realization. Even one of our own Goswamis, Raghunath Das Goswami, he rendered service to the devotees first, approached Lord Nityananda not directly, but through a senior devotee like Raghav Pandit, correct?
Yes.
And he maintained a lot of humility. Even though he was from a very wealthy family, he maintained that humility and approached the Guru.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Many examples throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita. Is a beautiful example. Bhagavatam also gives, as per Chaitanya Charitamrita, goes in detail. He couldn't have attained Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy unless means he was trying to run to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Many times he tried to escape from home and then tried to go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It didn't happen. But by the mercy of Yadunandana Acharya, and then one more was there. I think Yadunandana Acharya was the initiating guru, first initiation, or Harinam Diksha, or his family guru could be. I don't remember exact. But then by his mercy, then gradually he was released, and he was able to come to at least attain the mercy of Lord Nityan Prabhu. By the mercy of Raghav Pandit showed that here is Raghunath Das, a wealthy person, he is hiding from here. Then Nityan Prabhu said, "You are the thief. Now you feed all the devotees here." Then Raghav Pandit, Raghunath Das Goswami so humbly served and followed the instructions of Raghav Pandit, Nityan Prabhu, and he served all of them. He didn't eat anything. And then after everybody is fed, then he went and gave money, Lakshmi. He asked how much and how to serve his devotees. Lord Nityananda was close associate. Each and every devotee gave envelope of Lakshmi, and then whatever their needs are, he asked personally, and he served to their his fullest capacity. And he showed the utmost devotion. We can understand his mood. Then Lord Nityananda was very pleased. He gave his blessings. He put his lotus feet on his head. So that's how Raghunath, then Nityananda Prabhu said, yeah, now you can attain. By this devotee's mercy, he could attain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that time. And obviously, Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They danced, and Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. He took also the whatever distributed chipped yogurt rice with so many different fruits mixes, Panihati festival. That's what it transformed into. Every year it happens. So that was the pastime, yes, Raghunath Das Goswami is preaching. And so many examples are there throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita. We see that. Even in Bhagavatam, we see that Dhruva Maharaj, even though he was called out by Vishnu Dutas, let's go, you are ready, your plane is ready. But rather, he was so humble that he offered obeisances, he circumambulated the plane, and he offered obeisances and taking the blessings of all the assembled sages, Vaishnavas there. He didn't think that, oh, I became now Vaishnava, I can go. I'm going back. I don't I don't need to take any blessings. No, he was not. He was very humble. So this is the position taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his devotees through this Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Chaitanya, how to be in this position of Ati Dina, Trinapeka Ati Dina, Ati Dina, lowest position. Even though they might be exalted like Prahlad Maharaj or Raghunath Das Goswami, is a Prayojana Acharya, but he is teaching by his own example. So, anyways, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Nice example, Raghunath Das Goswami.
Hari Bol, Hari Krishna, Hari Bol.
Anyone else? Comments, questions? Okay, we'll stop already. 8:40 is very late.